Everybody, and welcome back to the Social Biz Breakdown, where we talk about everything social media related. So let's get started. Today, I want to touch on effective communication strategies with your clients regarding their social media presence. So, making sure that you have a very clear understanding of their business and everything that has to do with managing their social media. Effective communication is extremely important, you guys. It is the cornerstone of any successful business relationship, and particularly when it comes to managing a client's social media presence. So, as a social media manager, they are entrusting you with a critical aspect of their company's brand image and customer engagement. Just think about if you were hiring somebody to manage your social media or do something in your business. That's a little scary, right? So, you want to make sure that you completely understand the voice, the tone, the brand, everything they are going for. So, you want to make sure you are maintaining an open and transparent and regular communication line with your clients. It is extremely essential. It is extremely essential. So, let's talk about some strategies to enhance your communication with your clients about their social media strategy. Number one, you want to understand their vision. So, before you start planning and posting and strategizing, you want to ensure that you fully understand your client's vision for their social media presence. So, this will include their brand voice, their target audience, and overall business goals when it comes to social media. So, make sure you're scheduling that initial meeting or that strategy call to really discuss those aspects in detail and ask plenty of questions to make sure that you really have a full picture of exactly what their vision is. So, take notes, record that call, do what you need to do to make sure that you understand. And guys, questions are good. Ask a lot of questions. They want you to ask questions and not just guess and assume. Number two, you want to set clear expectations. So, from the onset, right when you start working with this client, make sure that you're establishing clear expectations about what you can deliver and within what timeline. So, don't promise that you can provide 3 months of contact, or don't promise that you can provide 3 months of content in 1 hour. I mean, that's crazy, right? You want to make sure that you're being honest about what's achievable and avoid over promising. The worst thing that you can do is start with a client and over promise and completely under deliver, and that just makes you look bad. And then they, won't talk about you with other clients and nothing like that. So the worst thing that you can do is overpromise and underdeliver and show that you are not a reliable and successful social media manager. So make sure that you discuss those key performance indicators, those KPIs, to measure success and agree on specific targets. You want to set clear goals. And if you're unsure on how to do that, look up or Google SMART goals. That is extremely helpful. So the next one is regular updates and reports. When it comes to communication, this is ideal for clients. You want to provide them with a regular update on their social media performances. So using a straightforward language and visual aids like charts and graphs and make these reports easily readable and digestible. So try not to use acronyms or something that maybe they wouldn't understand, because then they're just going to get confused, and the information and report that you're trying to present is just going to go over their head and they're not going to think about it further. So make sure that you're highlighting any successes, but don't shy away from discussing areas that need improvement. That's what they hired you for. That's your job. So you want to make sure you're talking about the things that you can improve on. Maybe what went wrong, different things that you can try. So strategize with your client, keep that communication line open. The next one is you want to be proactive. And this one can be kind of hard for some people depending upon what their client has provided them. So don't wait for your client to check in with you. Proactively communicate if you see any significant changes to their social media performance, whether it's good or bad. Like, hey, we posted that reel 2 days ago. You've already reached like 5,000 views or something like that. That is something that they want to know. Or if you're seeing something bad, or hey, there's a comment on this social media post. Do you want me to hide it? How do you want me to respond? Be proactive, keep that communication line open. If there is a crisis, such as negative feedback, like I just mentioned, or like a public relations mishap, something like that, you want to make sure that your client is alerted immediately and try to suggest like a course of action that you can take to remedy that situation as soon as possible. Again, they're hiring you to track and monitor this stuff, so they're not keeping track of it. So that is your job to be proactive. The next one is encourage feedback. So invite your clients to share their thoughts and ideas with you regularly. So whether that be you're setting up a meeting with them so that you can talk about things monthly, is completely up to you. So whether they have that feedback about a recent campaign or a new idea that you guys wanted to explore, you want to make sure that you're really fostering that two-way communication channel to really make them feel more involved and valued in their social media. Again, it's their social media platform, it's their presence. So encouraging them for information, ideas, feedback, content is always going to be welcome. Another one is using plain language. So sometimes I do this and I have to kind of step back or make sure that I'm using language that my customers or my clients are going to understand. Because sometimes there is that industry jargon when communicating with their clients that they might not understand. So, for example, there's terms like reach, impressions, engagement rate. The clients maybe aren't familiar with exactly what those mean. So, explaining those concepts clearly is ensuring that everybody is on the same page. We all know what those mean or what's happening. That way, they aren't confused and asking more questions. The next one, which we've already kind of touched base on, is making sure that you're scheduling regular meetings. So whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever you guys decide on, you want to make sure that you're scheduling those regular meetings to keep those communication lines open and discussing upcoming projects, performance reviews, and any plans for the future. It's really hard as a social media manager to create content about an upcoming launch or a sale or something that's happening in that business if you don't know about it. I prefer having a monthly meeting with my clients. I'd like to get it done like the first week of the month. That way I have the rest or at least 2 weeks to create that content and then get it out to the client for approval. So these meetings can provide an opportunity to address any concerns that they might have, but also keeping your client engaged in the process and really moving everything forward. And lastly, you want to make sure that you're using collaboration tools. But what I mean by that is making sure that you're using some sort of project management tool, that you have that content calendar in place. You can use Trello, Asana, or even just having a Slack channel that you guys can communicate with back and forth. So these platforms can actually help you share updates, discuss ideas, and keep track of tasks instead of going back and forth with emails, because let's face it, emails are getting very old school. So just making sure that you have those tools in place. That way everybody knows what's going on, where everything is, what's happening, everything. So let's wrap it up. By building an effective communication strategy with your clients requires empathy, transparency, and responsiveness. That's very important. And if you're implementing these strategies, you'll actually foster a much stronger relationship with your client versus never talking to them, not talking about new things, not talking about launches. And it'll lead to better outcome and more long-term success in managing their social media presence. So make sure that you set up those meetings, that you have clear communication with your clients, and that will really help you move forward and be successful as their social media manager.